and welcome to the first tutorial for November's Mindful Joy subscription box. So today we're just going to go through some of the materials and talk about what I've chosen, why I've chosen it, and just different ways of using it. And then in other forthcoming tutorials, we're going to look at things like blending and shading and different ways of using the materials on different patterns. Okay, so let's get started. First things first, this month I have chosen Bruynzeel coloured pencils, which are really good beginner pencils. They are nice and soft, they blend nicely, they're really lovely colours and I really like them. And they're not massively expensive for beginners either, they're quite reasonable. Okay, so the colours I have chosen for our autumn themed box is Naples Yellow. We've got Deep Yellow, which is more like an orangey yellow. We've got Permanent Orange. We've got Carmine. We've got Magenta, and we have got Havana Brown for adding a little bit of depth. So let's have a play. First thing I'm going to do is just do a little, almost like a little rainbow of soft shading with all the pencils across the paper. So I'm just going to start at one side and just do, I'm not pressing very hard, I'm just doing a little light one, little light, soft, almost like a scribble. Okay, and then the next one, as you can see, it's a bit more of an orangey shade. And you can see I'm going back over very lightly to build up the layers of colour. That's why these pencils are really good. If you just do very lightly, you can get very, very pale colours with them, like that, which is fantastic. So let me go and do that with the first one as well. Oh. Just lost Deep Yellow on the floor. Hold on. There we go. Don't want to lose that. All right, so next we have got Permanent Orange, which again is a much richer, deeper orange colour. There we go. And then a very pale, very lightest touch with it. As you can see, I'm using the side of the graphite rather than the tip. I'll show you the difference with the tip in a moment. Once I've gone through these ones, we have got Carmine, which is basically a pinky red. I really like this colour. I have got Lipstick this colour, which I really like, so completely irrelevant information there. There we go, nice and pale. And we have got Magenta, which is like a purpley pink. As you can see, I'm not doing this neatly at all. This doesn't need to be neat. This isn't for anyone else. It's for me and you to look at the colours, which we can do perfectly well without colouring inside lines. No rules in here. And then we have got Havana Brown, which is just a nice, rich, sort of chestnut brown. It's not a dull brown at all. It's got quite reddish tones in it, which works perfectly with the other colours that we've got. Okay, so the next thing to do is to see how different they look when we are using the tips of them rather than the side of the graphite. So I'm going to do, literally going to write the name of it. I think that seems like the best option. So we've got Naples Yellow. As you can see, that's a much more vivid colour. Yellow does not show up the best on here. You'll be able to see it better as we go into the darker colours. yellow. There we go. We have got permanent orange. Broke a little bit off the lid there, and that doesn't matter. Permanent orange. We have carmine, which makes a beautiful, really deep, vivid shade when you use the tip of it and press quite hard. Same with magenta. So we've got a nice range of quite light colours and quite deep colours here as well. I always find that works really well when you're choosing a colour scheme for a colouring page, that you don't want all the colours to be the same tonally. You want a range of tones from quite light tones to quite dark tones, so that there's some nice contrast in there. Okay, all right. So yeah, so these are really, I mean, you can get some really quite strong colour with them. I'm sure you can see the difference between this and this. So that's both Naples yellow. I've just used the side of the graphite and the tip of the graphite, and I've put gentle pressure, very gentle pressure, and really hard pressure on this one. And then we'll do the same with the deep yellow. Again, as you can see, I'm putting more pressure on it. It's making the camera wobble, which is fantastic. And you end up with like that shiny surface to it. So I can feel, I don't know if you can see at all, that there's like a sheen to it. No. It's almost like a waxy surface. So obviously once you've done this, it's very hard to blend anything else onto it. So it's a good idea building up layers of colour if you're planning on blending at all. But we'll go into that in more depth in the blending video, it's fine. Carmine. I think this is possibly my favourite colour in the whole world right now. Genuinely love it. Might have to be my next hair colour, I think. Of magenta. Also really good. And then our nice rich Havana brown. It's almost like chocolate, this. It's got that nice kind of creamy colour to it, which is brilliant. Okay, so these are going to look fantastic on our colouring pages. All of our images are autumn themed, hence the autumn colours. And as you can see, I've literally just done this on the back of one of my images because pencils, it's good quality paper, it's not going through. So in our next tutorial, we will go through blending, and I think we might colour, which one was I thinking? I think we might colour at least part of this really complex one. I probably won't keep you for all of it for a whole tutorial because quite frankly, you'll be here for hours. But some nice blending would look really good on this one. So we'll get into that next time. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all soon.